Hey everyone, in this video I'll be talking about Pixel Battery Health Assistance, so what it does and how it affects your Pixel devices, where the charge cycles have reached more than 200, 400, 600, 800 or above that. So let's get started. So a brief intro would be Pixel Health, the Battery Health Assistant will help optimize your battery lifetime, not runtime, lifetime, by limiting the voltage and current, that is input current and voltage, so that it can regulate uh, lower temperatures and reduce the damage that can happen. So if you are aware of Pixel 4a, 6a, 7a battery getting too hot, swollen, and even burning the user, so I'll add the links in the description so that people can take a look and see what exactly happens uh, when they don't have the update. Yeah, so let's start. So for background, I have both Pixel 4a and 7. So I didn't opt for a battery replacement. Instead, I opted for a refund. And the reason why I have not replaced the 4a's battery is because I wanted to check how the battery assistance or the battery throttling update affects the phone as it ages. So I've used, I mean, the 4A has been in use for almost 4 years, and the Pixel 7, it's almost 3.5 years. So I used to charge it daily, every day, and I have a very high ambient temperature that is around 26 to 45. So depending on if it's summer, it could reach upper 40s, and if it's winter, below 20s. So as a Pixel user, uh, you tend to lose a lot of performance during summers or when you're outside, because the tensor SoC gets very hot. Now, after this update, the current capacity is reduced to almost half, and the input voltage is very less. Uh, so first I'll be showing you my Pixel 7 screen share. Let me just unlock the phone. So this is a simulation. So what I've done is I've charged it to 100% so that so I'm using Android debug bridge to simulate unplugged status when it's connected to USB. Otherwise, it still gets charged. So what I've done is I've used ADB shell command and forced an unplug state. So what it does is, as you can see in this ADA 64 battery section, you'll see that there is battery limit applied. This is related to adaptive charging, so it does not charge. So on a Pixel phone, if you see these kind of a value, that means the battery is fully charged. So that is less than 100. So less than 100, it means the battery is fully charged. From the charge counter, what I've kept track of from day one, so around 4,700, and currently it is at 3,500. So after 3.5 years of use. So I did speak about it in the comment, so in Adam's video. So I don't want to get into a copyright strike, so that so this is a Tech Odyssey's channel where I've commented on it. So I'll add the links in the description, so I don't want to get into trouble, and even I don't want to say that Adam is, I mean, restricting anything, so the comment has not been disabled or something like that. So it's good on his part that he has not done anything like that. So I've added a detailed comment, so I'll just read it from here. So like I said, I have a very high ambient region and I'm from India. So for pixels 4a, so the original battery capacity that is rated, it is at 3000 milliamp hour, whereas what I've got is 3400 mAh. And similarly for pixel 7, so what happens is, so if you do a deep discharge, that is, you discharge the battery all the way to 0 and then charge it all the way up to 100, that is a deep discharge, where the phone turns itself off so that it does not go into a very deep state where it cannot recharge, and you will have to swap out the battery. So this is I've referred few articles because I've also used a power bank called X-Star. I'm not sure if so this is the charger, I mean the power bank what I've used. So I get a digital reading of it. So it has a feature called a 0 volt activation, so that can revive over discharged batteries. So this is related to the bigger 18650, 21700 sized batteries, but it can also revive the old phones that has not been charged for a while, very old phones. So my testing is based on a Geekbench 6 benchmark, where I'll be showing you side by side or a split window where and how the battery health assistant limits the charging and the after. So as you can see, the voltage is at 4.2 as opposed to the usual 4.4. I'll reconnect my Pixel 4a as well. I won't be running Geekbench on that because it is very slow and gets very hot. Also, even while charging it via the 5 volt cable as well. So currently I've connected it to the USB 2 port, I mean USB 3 with a USB 2 cable, so that it can use less voltage and don't do fast charge. Otherwise the temperatures will be very high. So I won't waste much of a time and let me run the Geekbench. So as you can see, I've used enabled adaptive charging. I'll just turn off battery health assistance for now. So adaptive battery charging, adaptive battery, and everything is intact. So I'll just open Geekbench. This is a current score what I've got. So I'll just rerun it with a split screen. It is easier to control the things through a mouse. Now, as you can see, it is on Android 16 September update with the latest feature drop, and there is 0 discharge. That means the battery is fully charged. And let me run the CPU benchmark, and I'll go to the clock speeds. So as you can see, the clock speeds are now limited against the peak performance that is indicated as per the specs. So it is no longer reaching the rated specs anymore. there is a battery discharge happening. So if you have seen earlier, it was slightly higher at 3465. Now it is at 3434. So I've done around 669 charge cycles. So as you can see, it is downclocking very instantly. I think the temperatures have reached around 38 or something. Here it is pretty hot now. We reset the stop again. We force the reset. As you can see, it is very heavily downclocking. I'm not sure why. This didn't seem to happen. I was fluctuating. Let me cancel it and then enable battery health assistance. Yeah, now let's test it. 3 to 4.2. I think it is still changing. I think it is still dynamically changing. We just do a it is dynamically changing the voltage with the health assistance enabled. So now let's run the CPU benchmark once again. Let's go to the CPU section. So as you can see, the clock system now the low power clock, that is A78, is not, it's still at idle, and most of the work is being done by the A55, the very low power core, and the high performance core, this one. As you can see, the clocks have been reduced, and I'm not sure why A78 is not going to the full speed now. Now everything is very conservative. Now, not sure why. Yeah, it is discharging very slowly now. It was 3434 a few minutes ago. Now it is 3432, even with the USB plug connected and the battery status reset from being in the frozen state. So I'm not sure why the temperature is too high. So
you can see the battery thermal value.
When on my older video, I never seen such high temperatures. This is very alarming. Yeah, let me just continue. Now it's at 39. Now it starts to heavily throttle. So one more thing I want to share is that this is directly from ADB. That the screen is mirrored. So as you can see, the score is very disappointing from my earlier test. So these are the tests what I've run before starting the video, and this is the score after this current run. Happy with the result and how the things are getting throttled. And considering the fact that Pixel 10, which was released this month, still has only 1000 cycles, whereas Samsung and the others, yeah, here's the article that so this is the Android Central article. So they say that the flagship phones, that is Samsung S20 series, they have a charge cycle of, I think that they are referring to the S24 and S25 Ultra, and even the base and plus devices. So they are advertised around 2000 charge cycles, and whereas Google is only advertising 1000 charge cycles, and also the throttling, and it's not very highly performant. And with these additional throttling, it hampers the user experience in day-to-day usage when you have a very high ambient temperature. Few of the users with Pixel 6a, 4a, even I can attest to it that the Pixel 4a battery has gotten worse, and some of them before Google removed the older Android releases, that is 10, 11, 12, they were able to flash it back to 10 and remove this throttling problem with their batteries. So from what I've heard is it affects only certain batteries, so I'm not sure why. Cobalt, yeah, they perform the best at 4.1 to 4.4, and as you reduce the voltage, it induces extra stress to keep up with the older voltage, and as a result, so when you push the device very hard on a very high wear level battery, you'll see that the thermals are very high. I'll just unlock it once again. I think it has now cooled down. It's still very hot to touch. No, it is still at 38 degrees. This is very concerning. But then again, I'll just wind up. So before that, let me just connect the 4A for a few minutes. So as you can see, this is Pixel 4A. So I'm still getting the battery is dead. So adaptive charging, adaptive battery. So it has some issues that wherein if you drain the battery twice within the same day, with the adaptive battery, it won't, with adaptive charging, it won't charge, and the percentage will be stuck and it won't be updated. And there are some cases where the phone gets too hot to touch. So as you can see, the charge counter is 700. I think the max capacity right now is around 1500. So if it is very cold, it does go to 500. Otherwise, it gets stuck at 1000 mAh. So as you can see, the voltage is now 3.9. So there is no way to revert or disable the adaptive battery, the Pixel Health Assistant. So for my closing statements, so I want to ask Google or anyone that is knowledgeable in this battery. So does the throttling algorithms still gets enabled only for the specific models that is mentioned here, and for the 6A and above, which has already done the high charge cycles, So is it related to some battery OEM, that is specific model that is produced in so and so year or so and so batch, that is causing Google to take this drastic step? Or is it some other issue related to a higher internal temperature causing the battery to fail earlier than expected? Um, and that is deviating from the MTBF or MTTTF values, which Google has tested these devices on. So as it progresses, or is it related to high ambience as well? So even I'm not sure how to get to a conclusion, but this is what is happening with battery health assistance. So the main drawback is you'll see a lot of frame stutters, very low screen on time, and randomly your phone gets very warm. And even when the ambient temperatures is very low, it is 25 and below, or even lower. So if you live in the US, or if there is winter, so even so it will be better for Google if their future phones does have a very higher charge cycles, rather than resorting to forced battery limiters. I think for 9A and above, they can't disable the battery health assistance, and it is turned on at every 200 charge cycle milestone. So first it gets applied at 200, so it will be a minor reduction. Then at 400, you'll see slightly more. At 600, you'll see slightly more, and you'll see way lesser SOT as Google decides to remove the charge cycles completely from being displayed. So it becomes very difficult to even diagnose what is wrong. I think for now, what Pixel users can do is they can constantly monitor their battery temps using battery diagnostic. You can just click on phone is very warm, and it will give you a close to accurate temperatures of your battery. So mind you, this is the battery temperature and not the SOC temperature. So that's it for this video. Bye.